Hello everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. Time to take that walk and go see what's in the fridge today. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Today's beer is Bourbon County brand coffee stout from Goose Island Beer Company. They are owned by InBev. I don't buy a lot of their beers. They're hard to get around here. They did distribute it here for a little while, but I don't know if they are still doing that or not. This is an old bottle. This was sent to me by my brother Rico. This is the 2014 edition of this. Now they're using a special bottle and embossed, so they can charge you more money more than likely how that works. So, with that being said, Rico, thanks again for sending me this one. I have been selling it for a while, and the bottle on date on this one says October 29th of 2014. So, these beers generally usually sell very, very well. And what I like about the Bourbon County series from those guys, the bourbon notes are still prominent years after you cellar them. They are very prominent fresh, and they still seem to be very prominent years down the road. Granted, the coffee stout, the coffee is going to fade. So while it's in the barrels, the coffee is fading, and while you're cellaring it, the coffee is fading. So I don't know how much coffee we're going to get on this one. We just did the 2013 not long ago. So we got the 2014, and that gets, I'm emptying the closets and cellaring fridges out of these older beers because I'm getting more pale ales and IPAs and double IPAs being sent to me recently as opposed to the porters and stouts. So 2 beers a day for me, and this is the final one for the evening for me here, guys, today. According to Beer Advocate, they say the 2014 release uses Intelligeniza Zircana coffee beans, and the 2013 we did before was the Los Immorales coffee. So they use a different coffee for each version of this from what I'm seeing here. So with that being said, we've got the date, we've got the ABV, which is, I think it's 12. It says 12.6% on this one. Of course, Beer Advocate has everything clumped all together. It says 12.9. Untapped has the 2014 edition listed separately, which I'm looking at, and it does confirm 12.6%, no IBUs. Their commercial description says, every day Goose Island smells the wonderful coffee roasting next to our brewery of Chicago's Intelligeniza Coffee and Tea. This world-class roaster puts the same passion, a skill into their coffee as Goose Island does with its beer. This excellent stout is made with different coffee from our friends next door each year. With the change in coffee comes a change in flavor profile, making each release truly unique from the previous years. So, we shall see if the coffee has survived being a 2014, and we're in 2019 here, guys. So, that is all we need to talk about, so let's get this little 12-ounce bottle opened up, get it into the glass. Nice little hiss, a little bit of smoke. Into the glass we go. To 12.6, we're going to go straight down the center on this pour, guys. And that's about as aggressive as I can pour it, and it did not pour any head at all. Just a slight ring around the outside of the glass. I can see the beer right down through the center. Not much head on this pour, even as aggressive as I just poured it. It is a pitch black beer, as dark as night, no light coming through it. To the nose we go. Rich roasted malt, black molasses, a hint of some bittersweet chocolate, Not much coffee notes on the nose right now, but it's cold right out of the fridge. Some of those may come out as it warms up to room temperature, which we always do. It does have a nice sweetness to the back end. Smells pretty tasty for a 12.6%er, guys. Well, let's dive in and see what we got. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Rico. The coffee is there a little bit more, but the bourbon notes are a little on the subdued side on this one. It's there, but it's not standing out like I was hoping it would, and probably like it would have been fresh. But it's there though, guys. And that may get more intense as it warms up to room temperature. A very pleasurable beer to drink. The Bourbon County series, whether it's a coffee stout, the imperial stout, a barley wine, all those beers seem to be very tasty to me. The Bourbon County series is a very impressive series, and even though AB and Bev owns these guys, they seem to be letting these guys still produce a very tasty beer. Now the ones that's done in New York, not so much, more transitional crap than probably my humble opinion. I don't buy any Goose Island beers from New York, even if they would be available here, because everything that I've had from the New York brewery is very transitional. But if you're a micro lager drinker and want to get something a little tastier, those beers are probably pretty good. I consider them lawnmower beers, basically. But the Bourbon County series is very impressive to me, and I enjoy them when they are sent to me. So Rico, my brother, thanks again for all the wonderful beers you send me. Let's let this one warm up to room temperature like we always do, and sip on it for a little bit and see what we end up with. Yeah. Alright guys, I'm back. Got a little bit left here. Not much icing left on the glass. I didn't expect it to, since I didn't pour very much of a head. Very tasty beer. Now that it's warmed up, a little bit more of the bourbon notes are there. A little bit more of the molasses and bittersweet chocolate, roasted malt. Very, very enjoyable beer to drink. Get a little bit more bourbon on the nose now that it's warmed up. Very nice beer, guys. The Bourbon County series is probably my favorite from Goose Island. No matter whether it's a stout, coffee stout, barley wine, they do these styles very, very well. There are people that say it's not as good as it used to be before AB and Bev got their hand on it, but these beers sell it very well. And the bourbon notes, even though this one is a little more subdued, is still there. So the 2014 edition is a very, very nice beer to drink, especially for me, final beer of the evening. Very nice, very, very nice beer. Probably almost to the outstanding category. Final chug. Slight coffee notes, but I realize, guys, the coffee notes are going to fade the longer you sell this beer. And this beer being not quite 5 years in the bottle, almost 4.5. The coffee notes are still there, being subdued though. If you want the most coffee flavors, you probably ought to drink this as fresh as possible. Once you sell these beers, even though it's gone through the bourbon barrel aging, which the coffee fades a little bit during that process, and then you cellar it for however long you decide to cellar it, the coffee notes are going to get more and more and more subdued, like hop stew in an IPA or double IPA. But still very pleasurable, very easy drinking for a damn monster beer, almost 13%, 12.6 on this one. Very tasty, guys. I could just as easily give this a 10, but I'm going to give it a 9, and I'm going to give it a 98. Very, very tasty. I was hoping for a little bit more bourbon notes, and I was hoping for a little more coffee notes, and they are kind of subdued now. So if you want those tastes, you probably ought to drink it a little fresher than what I am doing this one at. But it's still, if you say, oh my god, that's a 10 beer, it's the best thing I ever tasted, I would not argue with that. 98 is where I'm going to give it, guys. Kick in the door to be a 10 on this one. Very tasty. I enjoyed this Rico, thanks again, my brother. I do appreciate it. All right, over to Beer Advocate. They say 4.67 out of 5. Awesome, outstanding numbers from those guys on this one. And over to, and just remember, Beer Advocate clumps them all together, no matter what year it is. And they average those ratings out. So it's a very impressive beer, guys. If you can get your hands on it and you like this style of beer, you already tried it. But if you want more coffee and bourbon notes, more fresher is probably better than later. Over to Untapped, they have it at 4.65. Outstanding numbers from those guys also. That's why I'm saying, if you think this is a 10 beer, I would not argue with that whatsoever. But I think the bourbon notes and the coffee notes are a little more subdued now that it's 4.5 years old in the bottle. So if you've had the 2014 edition of the Bourbon County Coffee Stout 2014 recently, let me know what you think. Until we meet again, let's go see what's in the fridge.